morning. Today we're doing tea time with the fairy. We're going to be reading the book Tinkerbell's Tea Party. But before we do that, we're going to make a fairy house so that way they can come and visit you. And I'll show you how to make it. Okay, so you'll need a toilet paper roll, some construction or just colored paper, any colors you want, some scissors, and some crazy scissors too, some markers or crayons, whichever you prefer. I have a coffee filter, but if you have a cupcake liner, that works too. I used glue, but today I'm going to use tape, so whichever one you want to use, and that's pretty much it. So first, we're going to take the paper toilet roll, and we're going to take the big construction piece of paper. I used white, and we're going to roll it and measure it, and then we're going to take some scissors and cut it. Cut it so that way it's not too big. And then take it, measure it, out here. There we go. Then I'm going to roll it. And then I'm going to tape it. You can actually glue it too, but if you don't want to, you can tape it. Tape it there, and I'm going to tape it here. So now we have our house. Now I'm going to color it, and you can make designs of a window. We'll make a little indentation for a door, and I'm actually going to make a door, so that way we can open it up for the fairy to come in. Okay. There's our door. And then I'm going to take some of this with the little crazy scissors and make a little window. There we go. I'm going to tape it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a little push it on there. And there we go. Got another window. Then I'm going to take this, and you can see it's kind of big. So what I'm going to do is take the crazy scissors and kind of make it even more crazy, if it'll let me. Roof, and you can glue it down, or if you don't want to take it off, you could put like a tea light on it. In it, you can get these at the dollar store, so you could drop it in there if you don't want to glue it or not. It's up to you. We can leave it like that. I'm going to use some other ones to make little designs for the windows. I'll put this on the door. I'm actually going to use glue this time, if the glue will work. Seems like the glue does not want to work, so I'm going to do tape. There's our door. And I'm going to take the black little thing and make a little doorknob. So there we have it. You can color in more, make cute scenes. Like I'm going to do a window. You can draw it. Pretty much there it is. Then you can put the tea light in there. There you go. See? There it is. So now let's read Tinkerbell's Tea Party. And this is by Disney. We thank them for letting us read it. And let's begin. Tinkerbell's Tea Party. It was only the middle of the morning, and Tinkerbell had finished all her repairs. She looked around her cozy, cluttered workshop, and her eye fell on a piece of never silver. She had been saving it for a special occasion. There was just enough to make a pretty silver teapot, Tink said out loud. Perfect! She went to work. Soon enough, Tink had made herself a bright, beautiful little teacup. When she tapped it lightly with her hammer, it rang like a bell. She flew off to the tea room to ask for some tea. Tea, said Willow, a table-setting talent fairy. She laughed. Before lunch? Fairy dust. Everyone's so busy you'll have to make it yourself. Tink took a kettle and flew to Havendash Stream for water. There she met her friend Rainy, a water talent fairy. Tink showed her the silver cup she had made. I'm going to make my own tea, she said. Oh, cried Rainy, for a cup that pretty you should have a special tea made with morning dew. Rainy led Tinkerbell to their friend Lily's garden, where the flowers still glistened with clear, sweet dew. Be careful, Lily warned Tink as they filled the kettle with sparkling dewdrops. Sometimes these snapdragons really do snap. At that moment, one flower bent over and nipped at Tinkerbell's hair. Tink yelped. Lily heard the noise and hurried over. She stroked the plant's leaves until it let go of Tink's ponytail. You know, Lily said, 4-leaf clover honey goes perfectly with dewdrop tea. Tink felt a little impatient, but Rainy was already whistling for Brother Dove to fly her to the clover patch. Rainy had no wings, and so Brother Dove helped her fly. Tinkerbell, Rainy, and Lily all followed Lily's bee friend Bumble past the orchard and the dust mill and across Marigold Meadow. Bumble persuaded the bees to give the fairies a generous drop of 4-leaf clover honey. Tink was just leaving to go start the tea when Beck, an animal talent fairy, appeared. What's the special occasion? Beck asked. Tink is making a special tea, said Lily. Steeped in morning dew, said Rainy. With 4-leaf clover honey, added Lily. What a treat, said Beck. Are you having lavender cream with it too? You know, Tink said, I'm sure it'll be very nice with regular cream. Why don't we to the dairy barn, fairies? Rainy interrupted her. Hurry. Beck said with a sigh. Tink's tea is going to be good. If I ever get to have it, Tink muttered. She was glad her friends were so excited, but she really wanted to have her tea now. All right, Tink said as the fairies assembled outside the barn. I have dew, honey, and plenty of cream. At last I'm ready to whip the cream, said Rainy. She quickly got to work whipping every drop of cream into fluffy mounds. When Rainy was done, she looked around. That's more than enough, she said. Fairies hate to see anything go to waste, so Lily suggested they take some of the extra whipped cream to Dulcie, a baking talent fairy. As long as it's a quick trip, Tink added. She could hardly wait any longer for her tea. Lavender whipped cream. That goes perfectly with huckleberry shortcake, Dulcie announced when they arrived. Tink, if you'll pick me some huckleberries, your cup of tea will have the perfect treat to go with it. Tink pulled on her bangs in frustration. She just wanted to have a simple cup of tea. Then she thought about the sweet smell of huckleberry shortcake. And so Tink and Lily flew off to pick a sack full of huckleberries. At last, the berries were picked and the shortcake was made. Now, Tink said, I have a dew and honey and cream and even huckleberry shortcake. I'm finally ready to have your cup of tea, said Rainy. Tinkerbell stopped and looked around. No, have a tea party, Tink declared. Tink's friends all agreed that a tea party was a wonderful idea. I know just where we should have it, said Lily. She flew off. And I know just what we should pack, said Dulcie. Let's take a trip to the pantry. Linens fit for a tea party were the only things the fairies' pantry didn't have. So Beck flew off to the edge of the forest where the never spiders weave lace. She picked out the perfect lace for a tablecloth and 5 dainty napkins. Lily, meanwhile, had flown off to get the fairy circle ready for the tea party. The fairy circle is among the fairies' favorite places to get together. First, she coaxed a broad red-spotted toadstool to serve as a tea table. Then, with a rustle and a wiggle, 5 smaller toadstools sprouted up to serve as fairy stools. Then Lily made sure the fairy circle was bright with flowers, but one shy little flower bud didn't open. Time to bloom, Lily said to the flower. She sprinkled a little extra fairy dust on it. At once the bud sprang open so enthusiastically that a few petals flew off and drifted to the ground. Lily's eyes lit up when she saw the fallen petals. She scooped them up and in a wing beat fashioned a frog that would have made any fairy proud. Just then the rest of the party arrived at the fairy circle. "Oh, Lily," said Rainy, "you look so beautiful." "Why, thank you," said Lily with a blush and glow that shined nearly as orange as her new dress. Dulcie opened up the picnic basket and the fairies set the table. "How should I fold the napkins?" asked Beck. Lily said, "Don't forget the spoons," Rainy finished, "and the cocktail cup is mine." "At last," Tink said happily. Her cup twinkled at her brightly. She was finally going to have her cup of, I feel like we're missing something." "Oh, my drips and drops," Rainy cried. "We're missing tea leaves." "Shall I fly back for some?" asked Beck, ready to zip off to the home tree. "No, wait," said Lily. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a fragrant handful of bright green leaves. "I always like to keep a little mint from my mint patch close to me," she explained. "Ah, mint tea is my favorite," Tink said. Rainy boiled the dew that she and Tink had collected. Then Lily dropped her mint leaves into the waiting teapot. When the tea was ready, Tink and her friends took turns pouring. Tink reached for her cup. No sooner had she picked it up than Dulcie raised her hand to stop her. "Wait," said Dulcie. "Don't you think we should have a toast?" "To who?" Tink asked. "To you, Tinkerbell," said Beck, lifting her cup and holding it high, "for bringing us together today, even if you didn't mean to." Tink gazed down at the beautiful little teacup she had made that morning. If she hadn't remembered her little piece of never silver, she wouldn't even be here with all her friends. She tapped the rim with her teaspoon and listened to the bright ting. "To you," she murmured to the teacup. She took a sip of lovely mint tea, smiled, and sighed happily. The end. Thanks for joining us today. Join us next time on July 10th when we dance our heart out when we read 12 Dancing Princesses. Thanks so much. See you then.